So in today's video, we will talk about economic math, subject linear equation. So here we have a task that I will answer and try to explain how to solve the problems. Let's get started. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello. My name is Renjiro. I'm a student at Mulawarman University, Faculty of Economic and Business, majoring management. In today's video, I will talk about economic math, subject linear equation. Today, we have the task problems about linear equations, and I will answer while also trying to explain about linear equations, how to solve the problem. Let's get started. So for the problem, which of the following points lie on the line 3x minus 5y equals 25? We have several points here. Point A that states that 5 point -2, and point B that states that 10.1, and point C that states that -5.0. How are we going to solve these problems? The most common way to solve this task is by substituting the numbers at point into its linear equation. Let's take an example from point A that states that 5 points -2, so we substituting it into its linear equations. Here we have 3 times 5 minus 5 times -2 equals 25. On the other word, substituting in this context can be also mean by replacing the x by 5 and the y by -2. Since in point A, 5 it state the x and -2 it state the y. So 3 times 5 is 15 minus 5 times -2 is -10. 15 minus -10 is equivalent to 25. If the result matches, which is 25, if the result is matched, which is 25, we will indicate it with check mark, meaning the point corresponds to its linear equation. We will do the same way for several following points. And then we move to point B. 3 times 10 minus 5 times 1 equals 25. Like I said before, substituting in this context, in this case, it can be also mean by replacing the x and the y by the number on the point. Point B for the x is stated by 10 and for the y is stated by 1. So 3 times 10 minus 5 times 1 equals 25. 3 times 10 is 30 minus 5 times 1, which is 5. So 30 minus 5 is 25. 25 equals 25. Next, point C, 3 times -5 minus 5 times 0 equals 25. 3 times -5 is -5 minus 5 times 0 is 0. So the answer is -15 are not equivalent to 25. Next, for point D, 3 times 5 minus 5 times 10 equals 25. 3 times 5 is 15 minus 5 times 10 is 50. 15 minus 50 is negative 35. So negative 35 are not equivalent to 25. For the point E, 3 times negative 5 minus 5 times 10 equals 25. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 minus 5 times 10 is 50. Negative 15 minus 50 equals 25. Negative 15 minus 50 is negative 65, and negative 65 are not equivalent to 25. And for the point F, we have 3 times 0 minus 5 times negative 5 equals 25. 3 times 0 is 0 minus 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. 0 minus negative 25, so minus is positive, so it becomes 25 equals 25. So after substituting and doing the calculations, we obtain the following result. We can see which point lie on the linear equations and which points are do not. So the following point that lie on the linear equations is point A, point B, and point F. I also adding the point that do not lie on the linear equations just to show you which of these points that lies or do not lies on the linear equations. As we know before, the point that lies on the linear equations is point A, that state that 5 point negative 2, and point B that state that 10.1, and point F that state that 0 point negative 5. I also draw the line from point B through the point A to the point F just to emphasize. So the final graph, as you can see on the screen, is only the points that lie on the linear equations. I'm sorry for this tiny little point here. It's just to show you the full graph, because if I remove that point, yeah, the graph will not fully show. Thank you very much for watching this video for this long. I'm sorry if there's any trouble or miscommunications in the video. I'm sorry for any mistakes. I'm still learning here. We learn together here, and keep practicing, because practice makes perfect. My name is Renjiro Wans, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.